Good morning, Robin. How are you? Good to see you. Glad to see my chat's back working again. So we'll keep that hopefully throughout the program today. Let me do a minute countdown here and then we'll get started. And good morning, everyone. Good morning, Diana. Good to see you. Good morning, Chezzy. Glad that you're watching from your TV this morning. Judy, good morning. God bless you. Thomas Kincaid, good to see you. Wayne says, I've been waiting for you 3 days now. Well, at least you've done something productive with your time. And Chezzy said, go ahead and smash the like button. Thank you. Also, Sally, good morning. Good to see you. Bonnie said, we'll catch this later. We are escaping the smoke and ash from the fires within 10 miles. Haven't seen the sky in 7 days. Take care. Wow, Bonnie, you take care, and we pray for you. I've been in 2 major fires like that, and that is not fun at all. Horrible. Don't breathe too much of that. Be safe, Bonnie. Judy said, good morning, Stephanie. Good to see you. Wow, a lot of stuff going on. Everybody's praying for you. Robin's praying for you. Everybody is praying for you. Let me get started. Read a little bit of Second Thessalonians, and then we'll get started. Second Thessalonians, chapter 2. Now, brethren, concerning the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ and our gathering together to him, we ask you not to be soon shaken in mind or trouble, either by spirit or by word or by letter, as if from us, as though the day of Christ had come. Let no one deceive you by any means, for that day will not come unless the falling away comes first, and the man of sin is revealed, the son of perdition, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God or that is worshiped, so that he sits as God in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Do you not remember that when I was still with you, I told you these things? And now you know what is restraining, that he may be revealed in his own time. For the mystery of lawlessness is already at work. Only he who now restrains will do so until he is taken out of the way. And that, my friends, is the rapture. All right. Good morning, Tim Marvin. Good to see you. Paula, good morning. Good morning, Rue. Good to see you as well. All right. Couple of announcements, I guess you could say. First of all, next week, I am taking off the entire week. So, Wayne, you may have an entire week to wait to see me. So that's Monday through Friday. For those of you who know Wayne, that means I will be off Monday through Friday. Hey, sissy, good morning. So I will be back the following week. I'm just going to enjoy a little bit of the summer, taking a week off. Also, panic. No need to panic. No need whatsoever. Also, I wanted to just ask you. I am asking for. Oh no, you're not, Bruce. An entire week you're coming to Texas, Jesse said. I want to also ask you. Keep the faith, Pastor Leo Dempsey. Thank you. Here, I'm having some additional issues with my eyes, and yeah, guest host. I know, James. Hey, I'm a one-person show, but if you would keep me in your prayers in regards to my eyes, I am asking and praying for complete healing from God for my eyes. We will miss you, but you deserve a break. Thank you, Paula. Rue said, LOL, Chezzy, she can swing by Oklahoma then. You never know. One day I might just go to Texas and you guys will be surprised. And then we'll have to meet somewhere along the way. All right. So now let's get into some other things that I wanted to talk to you about. I pray just about, we'll keep you in prayer, Susan, for complete healing. Thank you, Stephanie. I really appreciate that. Praying for you, Susan. Robin said, thank you, thank you, thank you. So if I ever misread something, know that it's not so much that I can't read, but sometimes I can't exactly see quickly. So that's some of my issues. So Rue will be the guest host. I know Rue can just, she'll just imagine being the guest host and you guys will pick up the vibe. So that's how she's going to work that. All right. So basically praying for your eyes. They are so important. Yes, Paula, absolutely. Please fix those eyes, Jesus. Thank you, Rue. I had to squint to see what that was. All right. So I pray pretty religiously every night to, thank you, Sissy. Comedy hour with Rue. Exactly. I pray every night for this country, for God to bless this country, for God to put his hand and blessing back on this country, because just my opinion, but I feel that God has removed his hand from this country and kind of given us over at this point in judgment. And on Saturday night, I was kind of tired and I just thought, after I had prayed, I remembered, oh, I didn't pray for the country. And I thought, I'll just wait. I'll do it tomorrow. No big deal. Country will still be there. The country will still be in bad shape. So I'll be able to still pray about it, I guess, unfortunately. But so I went to sleep and God all night really talked to me all night. And one of the things that he kept showing me, and I'm telling you this, I don't know if you're to hear it. I'm just sharing with what was said to me, and it may pertain to all of us. In fact, I think it does, but I don't know that God wanted me to share it, but he probably knew that I would. So I, throughout the night, God kept showing me Psalms chapter 60, Psalm 60, verses 1-4. And all night long, he kept saying it over and over. And I thought, you know how you're in that sleep state and half awake state and, more sleep than awake, but you're kind of cognizant. Good morning, Debbie McDaniel. Thank you, Debbie, for the prayers. I have my phone alarm set at 8 p.m. nightly to do the same thing. Sally said, yeah, amen on that. So I kept telling myself during the night, you got to remember this, Susan, you got to remember Psalm 60 verses 1-4. And I thought to myself, Psalm 60, I know that I've read it. I've had to have, because I've read the Bible through 2 times. I'm going back the 3rd time now to read it. And I thought, that doesn't stand out. It's not like Psalm 20, the 23rd Psalm. It's not like the 90, Psalm 91, nothing like that. Nothing really stands out. So the next day I got up and I thought, okay, let me go and see what Psalm 60 is, verses 1-4. Let me read them to you. And when I read it, I just went, whoa, is this a message for our times? Okay, here it is. Oh God, you have cast us off. You have broken us down. You have been displeased. Oh, restore us again. You have made the earth tremble. You have broken it. Heal its breaches, for it is shaking. You have shown your people hard things. You have made us drink the wine of confusion. You have given a banner to those who fear you, that it may be displayed because of the truth. Wow. That was, to me, just such an eye opener, because again, I felt, I have felt like God has basically, as it said, oh God, you have cast us off. You have broken us down. You've been displeased. Absolutely. I 100% agree with that God has removed his hand off of us. And it said, oh, restore us again. And that's what I pray for God's blessing to be back upon this country. I do feel that we are to, all of us, myself included, to pray each day for God's blessing to come back on this country. Now, will that make a difference? Here's what I know. From reading in the Bible, I know that there have been times where God has made up his mind that he's going to do X, Y, and Z. And somebody comes along and says, God, will you change your mind? Will you save, during Sodom and Gomorrah, and save Lot? Will you do that if you just find so many people that, that are worthy, I guess, in some ways? Not really worthy, but I can't think of the right word. And he has done that. He's told us to pray, and he has, because of our prayers, he has changed course, if you will. Now, you could probably say, well, he was going to change course anyway. He just wanted to see if you would pray. Doesn't even matter which way it was. I think what it shows me is that we are to have faith and that we are to pray. And especially for me, when God tells me this is the prayer, right? Psalm 60 is the prayer for me, knowing that I'm asking God to restore this country. Now, I had no idea, and I swear this, I had no idea what Psalm 60 was. But Melanie, yes, prophecy has been foretold, meaning revelation has told us where we are going. But it doesn't mean that God is going to go today, right? We might prolong that 2 days or whatever. It doesn't mean that God might not change course for a small period of time, a long period of time, or whatever. I don't know. But also, as we go through the end times, it sure would be nice for God to have blessings back upon this country, no matter how long we are here before the rapture. So that doesn't really matter. I think it's also God calling us to be faithful. Yeah, remember Jonah, Chessie said. But God is calling us to be faithful and to pray. And when God says that, he didn't change course with Sodom and Gomorrah. He took Lot out and destroyed it anyway because there were none righteous. Yes, Stephanie, that was my point. But he saved Lot because he was asked, would you save somebody? So Sodom and Gomorrah, yes, that went away. But it also could be that, parts of this country, people in this country, people who haven't been saved will be saved when we ask God to put his blessing back on this country. It doesn't mean the country is going to be saved. It doesn't mean the country is going to be saved forever, whatever. It just means that for whatever God is saying that we should do, or at least for what I should do in Psalm 60, is pray for God to restore. And again, you cast us off, you've broken us down, you have been displeased. Oh, restore us again. And it could mean personal restoration. It could mean, for the people of the United States, his believers. I don't know the entire meaning of it. I'm just telling you my thoughts about what I believe. Faith, and more faith. Exactly. Faith pleases the Lord, Debbie said. Absolutely. And so I think, for me, that's what being called to do. I'm just going to keep praying. God's thoughts are not our thoughts, and God's ways are not our ways, Robin said. Yeah, I just think that, that to me, that was a pretty in your face type thing of, here it is the night before. I'm thinking, oh gosh, I missed praying for the country and asking for God's blessing upon this country. And then I go to sleep and he gives me a psalm that it could have been any psalm. I've never really heard of it before. And he picked that particular one, those particular verses, and gave me. So for me, it stands out as absolutely having a meaning. One more day, one more soul. Exactly, Judy. One more minute to save one more person that needs to be saved. I frankly think that the country, while we are to continue doing the right thing, the righteous thing, I don't know what God's plans are for this country. I know eventually what his plans are for the entire world. So I don't know when they are supposed to happen. So many left to save, Rue said. Yeah. So anyway, I just thought I wanted to share that with you. And for whatever it's worth for you, worth anything or nothing at all, that's fine. Let's see. Looks like something just happened to my all right. Anyway, I don't know what that is. I'll get that later. All right. So now here's another thing that I wanted to throw at you, and you tell me what you think. Each day we come here, and I like, to be honest with you, I like the fellowship of all of us being able to come together. I like us being able to come in here and talk about most things, right? A lot of things that we don't get censored about because, they're not looking for that. AI is not looking for those type of things to censor. But anyway, we're able to come in here and share our personal stories. Hey, Kelly Walsh, how are you? Able to share our personal stories, able to share our triumphs, our losses, our needs, our everything, right? So what I wanted to do, I come in here too, and I talk about the news. We all know that the news is bad. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to see that. Psalm 60 speaks such truth to my heart today. I'm going to post it my Facebook today. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Debbie McDaniel. So what I want to do is this. I thought about, instead of just coming here every day and talking to you about the news and how bad things are, that we could do something a little different. Millennial Millie has a TV box now. No censoring. Cool. Can I stream from there, Rue? That's the question. Is it news information they want to communicate to us? Who knows? But here's what I wanted to do. I wanted you to be able, let's say, a lot of times these days people feel alone, right? Like, oh my gosh, I've got all these issues that are going on. I don't know what to do. I wish there was somebody to talk to about them. I wish I had a way of figuring out, how to handle this maybe. You remember Dear Abby and Ann Landers? It's kind of one of those things where you could write in, she would draw a particular question and talk about it, and other people could comment and weigh in on it. What I would like to do is a similar thing where you could write in with a question that you have, whether it's a life question, a personal question for anything, whether it's a business question, where it's a moral question, where it's a question about, relationships with your family, on and on and on. Now, I wouldn't be giving legal advice, and I wouldn't be being your therapist, right? But we would be talking like we did, like Dear Abby and Ann Landers, that type of thing, where we could tackle the issue and maybe come up with some good examples of what you should do, or examples of where you could go to get help, or different things like that. Now, the way I would like to do this is this. Judy says, I love that idea. Oh my gosh, I forgot about Dear Abby. Well, Rue, there you go. Melanie said, me too. I love that too. So I have an email address, and that is Susan@SusanKnowles.com. Let me put it here, Susan@SusanKnowles.com. And each day or whenever, don't do it like 2 seconds before the show, because it would be great if you did it like the night before. Send an email with an issue that you're having that you would like for us to discuss. Now, another thing I would like to do, I would really not like to know who it is that sent me that issue. I would just, Brew, I think they were sisters. I would like to just get an anonymous email. You might have to create a new email address or whatever, and just give me what it is that you want us to discuss. And in the subject line, put this, question for Susan. And I say that because I get a ton, prayer requests, anything, Sally, anything. I get a ton of emails every day. So if you put question for Susan, then I will know that it is something that you want to bring on the show and discuss. Now, again, do it at any time, but it would be great if you want us to discuss it, that you do it like the night before or something like that. And again, this is not legal advice. It's not not your therapist or anything like that. It is just a gathering of people, like we were having a discussion anywhere, sitting around, if we were sitting together. So I can give you my opinions about things. I can open it up for other people to give it, and you'll have a bunch of people who will be giving you ideas on what they think is pertinent for you to do, or that you should look into, or how you should handle an issue. Sissy said, I like that idea. Good. So we need to get those emails. If I don't get emails, I can't do anything. Bible study time. Well, we do Bible study. We read the scripture at the last 15 minutes of the show. Come, let us reason together, Judy said. Yes. Do you know of any email service that is good? I was thinking of the Jack Hibbs video. Melanie, I don't, there are some emails that are encrypted or whatever, but for this purpose, I don't think you need to worry about that. Just, anything, AOL. I mean, who cares, right? It doesn't matter. Just any type of email, because you're not going to be putting anything in there that's that you don't want the rest of the world to know, right? We're going to be discussing it in here, so it doesn't really matter. But you start immediately. If you give me something today, then I will be able to address it tomorrow. Now, that Proton Mail, Sally, that you put in there is really only encrypted if you go from Proton Mail to Proton Mail. So if you go Proton Mail to Susan@SusanKnowles.com, it's probably not encrypted. It's not as safe as if you do it from one account to the next. I like Susan Quora. James said, I like that idea. It was a random question about email. Yeah. I mean, if everybody gets a Proton Mail address and we communicate with each other that way, it's supposedly encrypted. You're taking a risk to these days, anything that you do. So, but anyway, so it seems like at least a few of you like that idea, and would be something that we can expand the show and do that instead of just every day dwelling on, the news. We all know it's bad. We really do. Now it's kind of like, okay, what can we do in our individual lives? What can we do in our lives with other people, with each other, that will make things better, that we can focus in the right places. I have too many emails now, don't need to add more. And again, what I'm trying to do is, I don't want to know who it is that sent me the email. That's why I want the email to be from just somebody an account that I don't even know. So for example, for Robin, if Robin sent me something, if I have her email, I'm going to know it's Robin. So I don't even want to know that it's Robin. I don't want to know anybody in here who's sending it to me. I just want to be able to look at the email and nothing else, knowing nothing else about the person, and give you my opinion and have other people give their opinion as well. Makes perfect sense, Susan. Thank you, Stephanie. So anyway, again, if you start today, just put in the subject line question for Susan, and impartial. Exactly. And that's really what I want, is something impartial. I can just give you an opinion, not based upon anything but what you wrote. And it's the same, like, as Dear Abby and Ann Landers, it's the same thing that they did. They didn't know who sent in. Pretty sure you'll know my emails. Well, Rue, yeah, yours might be an exception. If they're really like over the top, I know it's from you. If they're always late, then I know it's from Wayne. I know some of those things are going to be like that, but we'll do the best that we can, and pretty much to make it impartial. All right. So sound good? And I'm sure when I'm out the following week, next week, you'll have a whole bunch of time to come up with more emails, and just keep them coming so that we can, that we can have them and we can read them every day, and we can help people. We can do things with helping take the load off of people's minds and all that. We can pray together, whatever it may be. But yeah, about endless wars, it's me. James said, you'll probably see my name, but you don't have to tell my name on here. Yeah, it's true. But Robin, I would really rather not even know that it's you. I would just want to give an impartial opinion. My friend keeps giving me, the alphabet stuff. Suppose August is now. Melanie, it's always been that month, and I don't listen, don't listen to the alphabet, listen to God. No Southern slang either. You'd know that was me, Sally said. Listen, here's what I want you to do too. I want you to tell your friends, okay? Tell your friends to come over to my YouTube channel at Susan Knowles. Tell them to subscribe. Tell them that they can ask any question too. Now, those new people, I won't know who they are because I don't know any of the new people coming in. I'll wear a mask so you don't know me. Yeah, well, by now I can know your eyes, right? We've through the veil, we now begin to know each other. But anyway, but seriously, let's get new people in as well. Tell your friends. If they want to know a little bit about me or whatever, you can just tell them that former practicing attorney, a licensed psychotherapist. I have a business degree as well, a bachelor's in business. So I have a kind of a well-rounded background. I've been to the police academy, I have some life experiences, right? All of that. Again, this is not going to be legal advice, and it's not going to be as a therapist giving you therapeutic, counseling advice or anything of that nature. But it's going to be giving you an opinion based upon my experience and your feedback too, that you can get involved as well. And we can help people who come and say, I just need a sounding board. Sally needs to take a Yankee speech class to higher identity. Maybe she can get Rue to help. By now, you know our personalities and funky writing styles. It could be Melanie, but again, let's get new people in as well. So please share with people, tell them what we're going to be doing, and tell them if they just want a sounding board or they have questions that they've kind of wanted other people's opinions on, that this is the place to come. All right. Sound good? All righty. Now, also, let me get started. I found a training tape from the Biden administration, and I want to show you. It's one of those things that, once you find something like this, you just have to share. So let me get it started. Hold on one second. I want to make sure that I bring up the right thing. And all right, there we go. Hold on one. Somebody's saying something to me. Let's see. Whoops. I speak English, Sally. I can help. Thanks, James. This will be fun. Yeah, it should be, Stephanie. Again, it's to help people. Susan is an excellent resource. Thank you, Sally. All right, so here is that tape that I got from the Biden administration. And let me roll tape and show you what this is all about. So I think you'll understand when I roll tape. Whoops. So pretty much, I think, that's what goes on every day in the White House now. And you're just getting a glimpse of what they do and how they teach people to get through the Biden administration. So again, I just thought that was too cute to pass up on, and it's a little lighthearted rather than the typical stuff. All right, now let's move on to some main news. Hold on here. Everybody like that rolling on the floor laughing. Gracie is barking a little bit too much this morning. It's halftime already. Oh my gosh, it is. If everybody would, please go ahead and share this. Again, share so that new people can see this and can come on. Is that Be Mentor? Yeah, I don't know if that was Jen or somebody else in the administration here. Excuse me, I didn't give permission to use my video. How embarrassing. I know, Rue, we caught you at the White House. All right. Now, here is some news that you would expect. All right. So yesterday or this weekend, I think it may be Saturday, it came out that Larry Elder had not properly filed all of his paperwork. And so he would not be able to be placed on the ballot for recall of Governor Newsom. Now, here's what he responded. We filed redacted and it should be redacted returns over 200 pages of 5 years of tax returns. So they are saying either redacted version or the unredacted version was incomplete. And so this is a letter that he got saying, Dear Larry, we are writing to inform you did not qualify as a candidate for the upcoming September 14, 2021 California gubernatorial recall election. Incomplete, redacted, and or unredacted income tax returns were filed. Let me just tell you something. He has an opportunity to basically sue if they don't change this. This shows you how powerful those on the left are and how much they want Newsom to stay in office. They will do just about anything. Now, did they do this? I don't know. Seems unusual for information. 5 years of redacted and unredacted information should be Susan for governor, James said. Oh my gosh. I would change this state, James, like you wouldn't believe. You talk about equality and all that. Man, this state would be so different. But anyway, I think that the powers that be are working hard to keep him in office. Anthony Tremino is a great candidate. Should Larry not qualify? He's a very conservative Christian and very successful businessman. The problem is, Stephanie, nobody knows who Anthony is. I never heard of him before. You just said it, right? The thing that's happening right now already is that you have the Larry Elder camp, which I'm in, and you have the Kevin Keeley or Kiley, however he says his name, camp. He's the guy who's already in the state legislature. He's a Republican that people want in. All right. So if we keep dividing the votes, we're not going to win this. And if Newsom stays in power, we are going to be punished like you have never seen. So we have to get behind Larry Elder, is my opinion. And if he is not in, then I say Kevin Kiley. I have already, Caitlin is not on my list to get behind, and I'm not going to be voting for Caitlin. Chezzy said, prayer request. I found a German Shepherd that needs rehoming because they didn't realize how much attention a German Shepherd needs. I'm praying that Duke and this dog get along. Absolutely. So pray that this dog can be rehomed and find a great home with Chezzy. Chezzy, I think one of the things, you just have to be patient. You have to introduce them slowly. Having had that same situation, my dogs tolerate Gracie. They kind of sort of like her. She's okay, but she'll never be as wedded to them as they are to each other. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Are working dogs. Oh, German Shepherds are working dogs. Yeah. Sarah, sad Larry Elder can't run. Well, we don't know yet, Sally. We don't know yet. It's not over. I have the time for the German Shepherd. We meet this week. Okay, cool. Chezzy, you have to do it slowly. Introduce slowly. Do some research about introducing the dogs to each other. Susan, let me know who you think is best so I can keep sharing like all of us. I have followers from all over the country. Sally, for right now, it's Larry Elder. And people can donate by going to electelder.com. And so, he will sue if this isn't changed. He's already said that he's going to sue. Jesus, please speak peace to this dog, your creation, Judy said. Chezzy, I know a person that can find a home for that German Shepherd. We adopted a dog from her, James said. Thanks, Susan. Thanks, everyone. Hope that it works out. We'll keep us posted. All right. Now, I want to give you some information. I'm going to give you the link. I am not able at all to talk about this on here, but promise me, people, promise me that before this day is out, this is a very short video. There's the link on YouTube. Please go there and watch it. It's extremely, extremely, extremely important. This is an attorney who's on the video, and he filed a lawsuit. Can't tell you what about, can't tell you anything else about it. He explains it in about a 10-minute video. Please, please, today, go watch that video. Also, there's another video that I had talked about last week. If you haven't gone to see it yet, please go and at least listen to a few minutes of it to get a gist of what's going on. The long and short of it is that, and I can't really talk about this on here, but things that were, let's say, had a patent on them were gotten long before what recently occurred regarding this illness. Okay. So go there, watch it at least for a few minutes. Rue, you might want to go back and listen to what I just said. Basically, I showed it on the video here too. They're just saying that Larry Elder didn't file the paperwork for his redacted and unredacted information that he filed in regards to his taxes, income taxes. So he will sue if they don't change it. Wow. Yeah. Chessie, I'm not even going to repeat that, but yeah. Okay. Now, here's a blast from the past. You just put it up really quickly, and then we'll go to another link, and I'll show you that. This is a blast from the past from 2017 from Candace Owens, who said, "Today I learned that Bill and Melinda, you know who, funded the development of a method to record medical data under a patient's skin at the same time that a badge is delivered. MIT researchers accomplished this using quantum-based copper dots." Now, I do remember this, and I had forgotten about it until I went back and looked at it further. I think we even talked about this on the show, but it was 2017, so that's too long ago. But here is the article from MIT. It's saying storing medical information below the skin's surface. Specialized dye delivered along with a badge could enable on-patient storage of your history, medical history. So that is it's, I don't know, don't you find that a little odd? That's kind of what we're headed towards in getting a pass and a port, if you put those two words together. So let me leave you this link as well, so you can go and look at this article from 2017. But again, please look at the two videos that I gave you. The first link that I gave you, absolutely a must watch today with the attorney. And the second one is also something that you should see as well. They were saying, yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't want to repeat that, Melanie. So it was already ready to go. And Stephanie, so was everything else. Yeah. So, all right. Also, just so you know, and if you have time to watch it, jdfarag.org was very good. Very good. He tells you whether or not you should take it, what you should do if somebody comes knocking at your door, what it all means, et cetera, et cetera. So if you just go to jdfarag.org, if you let me see if I can get that for you quickly, for those of you who may want to go and watch that. Okay, here it is. And if you go to his website and watch it rather than trying to go to YouTube, because he switches over from YouTube. So here is what the topic is. It says, "I need answers." And he gives you some answers. Maybe some you don't want to hear, some you really want to hear. But there is the link for that as well. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's amazing how many things came before, but you don't know about it. Yeah, he did. Chessie, just, you maybe have watched it too, but he did talk about the metal sticking and what's maybe causing that, which we've kind of talked a little bit tiny bit about that. But yeah. So anyway, there are, as you know, over the weekend, I think there were, what was it, 3 Texas Democrats who tested, the ones that fled the state so they wouldn't have to do their jobs. Well, it appears now that 2 more test positive after fleeing to DC. And it's funny because the other day, over the weekend, it said that the faux VP had made a visit to Walter Reed, just one of those things that were just a minor, they made it sound like it was kind of one of those things she was going to do anyway. No, here's what I think. Just my opinion. I think she's scared to death that she was around these people and now she has it. And she's probably going to go over and get some real medicine that actually works because maybe what she got was, I don't know, salt water. Let's just say salt water. How's that? All right. Also, news from North Carolina. People are going to come knocking at your door. They start offering door-to-door badges. So JD said 2 things that maybe you should do when people come knocking at your door. 1 is don't answer it. And 2, if you do, share Jesus. Okay. So, but you need to be prepared so that you know what to do in the event that happens. Now, I want you to look at this report really quickly. This is a report that came out from The Guardian. And it's about disinformation. This is pretty interesting. It said the majority of the misinformation came from 12 people, according to a report by the Center for Countering Digital Hate, cited by the White House this week. Now, it's interesting to see who they claim have spread the disinformation. I know it's kind of hard to see on this, maybe, unless you expand your screen. But look at the names. Look at number 2. You know who that person is. He's not even anti-badges. He just is anti-experiment. And number 4, from everything we've seen, is a reputable doctor. Those 2 stand out to me out of the 12, which are called the disinformation dozen. So they are really, really, really trying hard. Isn't it great that we all thought to share Jesus with the Badgers? Yeah, I think that's so great, Rue. Put a no trespassing sign. Yeah. Yeah, if you put a no solicitation sign, they can still come to your door. If you put a no trespassing sign, they're not supposed to be able to. And you can ask them to leave. Judy's having a pre-operation tomorrow and she covets your prayers. Please, God, heal Judy. Let these results from this tomorrow just be positive results and not positive in any other way. Let them be negative for cancer, positive for she is healed. God, we just ask for your healing in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. Let's see. I think I missed a couple. All these sheep with their fake security. Bring it on. I have, let's see. This is my intentions. Let's see. Praying for Judy. Thank you, Chezzy. All right. Now, people are not happy with Boris Johnson. I don't know if you've seen this, but this is going on with Boris Johnson. It is, this happened. It says London protests. The people go to Parliament today to deliver their message of no badge, pass, and port anywhere. They have been issued the order that everyone is going to have one of these pass and ports before they can go anywhere. And the people are saying you can take it and, put it where the sun doesn't shine. So there you go. Was never happy with his bed head, Bruce said. Bruce said he's a sellout. Yeah. Just like Jeff Flake. Remember Jeff Flake from Snowflake, Arizona? Total sellout. Total sellout. Now, I want you to see something. This map is pretty darn interesting. Not that we didn't know, but when you see things, it makes you go, what? This is a map of trading partners, right? This is a trade time lapse, USA versus China. And this is each country's biggest trading partners by year. It starts in 1980 and goes to 2018. The blue is America. The red is China. Look at how it was in 1980 and then see what it was like in 2018. You can see that it was mainly the United States back there in 1980. And now the trading partner is predominantly China. Isn't that amazing? I mean, again, when you look at something like that, it takes your breath away. All right, we are way past time for Bible time. So let's get to that. Let's see. Wow. Has anyone noticed that most of the remaining world leaders turned out to be sellouts? Yes, absolutely. And no surprise, right, Stephanie? All right. So we were in Genesis 46, and I left off down here in verse 28. Jacob settles in Goshen. Then he sent Judah before him to Joseph to point out before him the way to Goshen. And they came to the land of Goshen. So Joseph made ready his chariot and went up to Goshen to meet his father Israel. And he presented himself to him and fell on his neck and wept on his neck a good while. And Israel said to Joseph, now let me die, since I have seen your face, because you were still alive. Then Joseph said to his brothers and to his father's household, I will go up and tell Pharaoh and say to him, my brothers and those of my father's house who were in the land of Canaan have come to me. And the men are shepherds, for their occupation has been to feed livestock. And they have brought their flocks, their herds, and all that they have. So it shall be when Pharaoh calls you and says, what is your occupation? That you shall say, your servant's occupation has been with livestock from our youth and even till now, both we and also our fathers, that you may dwell in the land of Goshen, for every shepherd is an abomination to the Egyptians. Chapter 47. Then Joseph went and told Pharaoh and said, my father and my brothers, their flocks and their herds and all that they possess have come from the land of Canaan, and indeed they are in the land of Goshen. And he took 5 men from among his brothers and presented them to Pharaoh. Then Pharaoh said to his brothers, what is your occupation? And they said to Pharaoh, your servants are shepherds, both we and also our fathers. And they said to Pharaoh, we have come to dwell in the land because your servants have no pasture for their flocks, for the famine is severe in the land of Canaan. Now, therefore, please let your servants dwell in the land of Goshen. Then Pharaoh spoke to Joseph, saying, your father and your brothers have come to you. The land of Egypt is before you. Have your father and brothers dwell in the best of the land. Let them dwell in the land of Goshen. And if you know any competent men among them, then make them chief herdsmen over my livestock. Then Joseph brought in his father Jacob and set him before Pharaoh, and Jacob blessed Pharaoh. Pharaoh said to Jacob, how old are you? And Jacob said to Pharaoh, the days of the years of my pilgrimage are 130 years. Few and evil have been the days of the years of my life, and they have not attained to the days of the years of the life of my fathers in the days of their pilgrimage. So Jacob blessed Pharaoh and went out from before Pharaoh. And Joseph situated his father and his brothers and gave them a possession in the land of Egypt, in the best of the land, in the land of Ramesses, as Pharaoh had commanded. Then Joseph provided his father, his brothers, and all his father's household with bread, according to the number in their families. Now there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very severe, so that the land of Egypt and the land of Canaan languished because of the famine. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan for the grain which they brought, and Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. So when the money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came to Joseph and said, give us bread, for why should we die in your presence? For the money has failed. Then Joseph said, give your livestock, and I will give you bread for your livestock if the money is gone. So they brought their livestock to Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for flocks, the cattle of the herds, and for the donkeys. Thus he fed them with bread in exchange for all their livestock that year. When that year had ended, they came to him the next year and said to him, we will not hide from my lord that our Our money is gone. My Lord also has our herds of livestock. There is nothing left in the sight of my Lord but our bodies and our lands. Why should we die before your eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants of Pharaoh. Give us seed that we may live and not die, that the land may not be desolate. Then Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh, for every man of the Egyptians sold his field because the famine was severe upon them. So the land became Pharaoh's. And as for the people, he moved them into the cities from one end of the borders of Egypt to the other. Only the land of the priests he did not buy, for the priests had rations allotted to them by Pharaoh, and they ate their rations which Pharaoh gave them. Therefore, they did not sell their lands. Then Joseph said to the people, indeed, I have bought you and your land this day for Pharaoh. Look, here is seed for you, and you shall sow the land. And it shall come to pass in the harvest that you shall give 1/5 to Pharaoh. 4/5 shall be your own as seed for the field and for your food, for those of your households, and as food for your little ones. So they said, you have saved our lives. Let us find favor in the sight of the Lord, and we will be Pharaoh's servants. And Joseph made it a law over the land of Egypt to this day that Pharaoh should have 1/5, except for the land of the priests only, which did not become Pharaoh's. So Israel dwelt in the land of Egypt, in the country of Goshen, and they had possessions there and grew and multiplied exceedingly. And Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 17 years. So the length of Jacob's life was 147 years. Then the time drew near that Israel must die. He called his son Joseph and said to him, now if I have found favor in your sight, please put your hand under my thigh and deal kindly and truly with me. Please do not bury me in Egypt, but let me lie with my fathers. You shall carry me out of Egypt and bury me in their burial place. And he said, I will do as you have said. Then he said, swear to me. And he swore to him. So Israel bowed himself on the head of the bed. Now it came to pass after these things that Joseph was told, indeed, your father is sick. And he took with him his 2 sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. And Jacob was told, look, your son Joseph is coming to you. And Israel strengthened himself and sat up on the bed. Then Jacob said to Joseph, God Almighty appeared to me at Luz in the land of Canaan and blessed me. And he said to me, behold, I will make you fruitful and multiply you. And I will make of you a multitude of people and give this land to your descendants after you as an everlasting possession. And now your 2 sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, who were born to you in the land of Egypt before I came to you in Egypt, are mine. As Reuben and Simeon, they shall be mine. Your offspring, whom you begat after them, shall be yours. They will be called by the name of their brothers in their inheritance. But as for me, when I came from Padan, Rachel died beside me in the land of Canaan on the way, when there was but a little distance to go to Ephrath, and I buried her there on the way to Ephrath, that is Bethlehem. Then Israel saw Joseph's sons and said, who are these? Joseph said to his father, they are my sons, whom God has given me in this place. And he said, please bring them to me, and I will bless them. Now the eyes of Israel were dim with age, so that he could not see. Then Joseph brought them near, and he kissed them and embraced them. And Israel said to Joseph, I had not thought to see your face, but in fact God has shown me your offspring. So Joseph brought them from beside his knees, and he bowed down with his face to the earth. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim and his right hand toward Israel's left hand, and Manasseh with his left hand toward Israel's right hand, and brought them near him. Then Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it on Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand on Manasseh's head, guiding his hands knowingly, for Manasseh was the firstborn. And he blessed Joseph and said, God, before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac walk, the God who has fed me all my life long to this day, the angel who has redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads. Let my name be named upon them, and let the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, let them grow into multitude in the midst of the earth. Now when Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand on the head of Ephraim, it displeased him. So he took hold of his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's hand and Manasseh's head. And Joseph said to his father, not so, my father, for this one is the firstborn. Put your right hand on his head. But his father refused and said, I know, my son, I know. He also shall become people, and he also shall be great. But truly his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his descendants shall become a multitude of nations. So he blessed them that day, saying, By you Israel will bless, saying, May God make you as Ephraim and as Manasseh. And thus he set Ephraim before Manasseh. Then Israel said to Joseph, behold, I am dying, but God will be with you and bring you back to the land of your fathers. Moreover, I have given to you one portion above your brothers, which I took from the hand of the Amorite with my sword and my bow. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop there. Hey, Ken, sneaking in late. Sorry, my lady, everyone, YouTube was frozen for an hour on my end. Oh my gosh, Ken. So let it be written, so let it be done. Amir Safadi has been making the rounds in SoCal the past week or so. Yes, Mike, he's going to be with Jack Hibbs on Wednesday night. So you can tune in and watch there. Such a relevant reading for today, just as the current monetary system is failing, worthless very soon. Amen, Stephanie. Yep. Let's see. Every day is speeding by for me. Rue said, we're getting closer to God's time. Amen. Who's the bedhead person? I couldn't see it, and I don't want Susan to say it. Oh, it was Boris Johnson. It's okay, Judy, is what he was talking about. All right, everybody, if you would, again, please share this. And Ken, go ahead and watch the replay. Please share this to everybody so that they know about the new concept and that we can bring on new people. Tell them to go to the Susan Knowles YouTube channel, subscribe there. And it has on here where the emails go. Tim said, good show. Thanks. Thank you, Tim. And that way we can get some questions in. Again, I've given you links on here where to go today. Please do. Thank you, Susan. Hope you all have a blessed day. And please, like I said, please share the show. All right, everybody. I'm going to give you a minute to talk to each other before I log off of this. And God willing, we will see you back here again tomorrow. Take care. I just love you all very much, Rue said. Well, we love you back, Rue, even more probably. All right, everybody, God bless. Take care.